But as I explained to you, it's virtually impossible for oil to exist in this area.
Virtually has nothing whatever to do with it. Now face it, young man, you made a mistake.
I don't understand it.
Well, don't let it get to you, Randall. I mean, these days, nobody's perfect.
No, sir, I mean, I don't understand how anyone could possibly find oil in Port Charles.
Well, are you suggesting the Corsos don't know what they're talking about?
Well, I wouldn't say that. If anyone knows oil, it's the Corso family, but this is highly unusual.
Well, never mind about that. The important thing now is how am I going to horn in on this before it's too late?
Well, what is it you want, sir?
I want a piece of the action. I want a very large piece of the action for a small price.
Well, how do you manage that?
Well, Corso said that site is owned by the girl. Apparently, Luke Spencer's involved.
Well, shall I place a call to him?
Oh, absolutely not. Luke hates me. Well, the feeling's mutual, I might add, but he'd never let me in on such a sweet piece of action. No. We have to find some other way to get to this mystery girl.
Well, I don't see how we do that.
Well, if only Laura Templeton were here in town. You know, all the time she spends over there at the Star, she could very easily get me all the information I need.
Shall I call her in New York?
Well, she's not any good to me there. No, let's... Why didn't I think of this before? Now, I know a charming lady who is in a perfect position to get me all the information that I want. And she adores me.
How about a little more wine, Cleopatra?
I love some. How about, grape?
I love one.
This is absolutely delightfully decadent.
It's a tough life. Well, let's see. We've done the Anthony and Cleopatra. And we've been to the French Riviera, so what's next?
Unfortunately, the phone.
The telephone.
Yes. Okay. Hello?
Tiffany. This is Edward Quartermaine. Are you busy?
I'm swamped.
Well, this won't take long.
Could I call you back later this afternoon? I really can't talk to you right now.
Well, Tiffany.
Now, where were we?
Where were we? I think we were, about to drink out of some coconuts and, go frolicking naked in the surf.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Especially frolicking.
Yeah, I always liked, coconuts and frolicking.
I wish we had left civilization for good. Yes.
Hello, Tiffany, darling. This is Edward Quartermaine again. I'm sorry, my dear, but I don't think you realize how important it is that we talk right now.
Edward, I really don't want to be rude to you, but I really can't talk to you right now, so please, don't call me back. I'm actually up to my, I'm up to my neck in coconuts.
Coconuts?
Pardon?
Well, the woman must be ill.
She won't talk to you?
Well, she certainly will if I go over there.
Well, sir, do you think that's wise?
Come on, Randall. You know, if Corso knows about the oil, it's only a matter of time before all the vultures begin to circle. I want to get in on this before they swoop down. Now, if Miss Tiffany Hill won't speak to me over the phone, she certainly will if we go over there in person.
We, sir?
Yeah, I may need your help. Come on, Randall. Lord knows what that woman's up to.
But it's going to cost so much money.
Don't worry about it, darling. Something will turn up. It always does.
I beg your pardon. We're looking for a Luke Spencer.
You found him?
Oh, how do you do? I'm Charles Corso. This is Basil Corso.
What happened to your hand?
Well, it's a rather rigorous squash game.
You win?
The Corsos always win.
I see. This is Hawley Sutton.
How do you do?
I don't believe I've seen you gentlemen around Port Charles before.
Oh, this is our first time in your quaint little town.
Business or pleasure?
Well, so far it's been mostly pleasure, but I hope soon it'll turn into business.
With me?
With both of you.
What could you possibly have to talk to the two of us about that has to do with business?
Well, it's common knowledge that Miss Sutton discovered oil on her property.
What? Oh, let's not play games, Mr. Spencer. How did you find out about it?
Well, for such a large industry, oil is really a very small world. When you start searching for a geologist, someone's bound to find out.
And that someone told you about it?
We're prepared to make you an offer, that is, Miss Sutton, for a very large sum of money for a very small piece of land.
You are?
More than enough to enable you to buy prime real estate in almost any location and live very comfortably for the rest of your life. Are you interested?
Absolutely.
Not.
Are you crazy?
Are you?
But we were just wondering
Would you
what to
excuse
do
us
next.
for just 1 second? We want to step over here into my office.
Of course.
Right with you. Girl, will you think? Will you think for just a second these guys are offering you a big fat check for this land? That means that they stand to make millions from it.
So?
So, it means they're swarming around you like flies already. It means that you have a very rich oil deposit there. Now, look, you're going to just throw it all away to the first couple of clowns that come in here and just offer you anything?
Why not? I didn't expect anything from that land. Even if I get a little, I'm ahead.
I want you to get it all.
What about you?
Holly, I'm not thinking about me.
Oh, I know you're not. I'm sorry.
Now, look, what about your father, right? This was his dream. This is what he always wanted. What do you think he would do?
I honestly don't know.
Holly, this is your one big ride, English. This is it. You go for it. This is a dream come true in your lifetime. And if you don't take it now, you could look back in your old age and hate yourself for it.
Well, I suppose you're right.
You're not sure?
No, but I can see you're sure, and that's good enough for me.
I like the way you think. Gentlemen, Miss Sutton, thanks you very much for the offer, but she's not going to sell the land.
Well, that is most unfortunate. What can we do but wish you both all the best? If Miss Sutton does change her mind, we're still and always will be interested in the property.
I don't think she will, but if she does, I'm sure you'll be the first people that she contacts.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Miss Sutton, good day.
Okay. Thank you. Take care of that hand. There's your proof. The land is gold. It is total gold. You realize what this means, huh? You're going to be rich. That's what it means. They're swarming in. The vultures are coming in already.
I never dreamed it would
Well,
come
you
to
better
this.
think. We have to think. Now, we have to think about the legalities of the situation. We have to make sure that nobody else cuts in on the action. Joe Kelly, I have a friend I can trust. He's a lawyer. Would you like to go see him with me this afternoon?
No, thanks. I want to be alone. I've got lots of things to think about.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not going to disappear again, are you?
No, I won't. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Oh, man, this is great. I could do this for the rest of my life.
I bet your patients would be very upset if you didn't come back to the hospital. Ah, it sounds like one of them's here now.
No, it couldn't be. My patients don't make house calls.
Well, let's don't answer it. You don't have to be back until...
In fact, if we pretend real hard, we can maybe imagine like the natives calling us for dinner.
Oh, I think we must be the main course. I'm coming. Just a second, please.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Tiffany, but as I tried to explain to you over the telephone, it's very important that we talk right now.
I don't mean to be rude, Edward, but this is a very bad time for me. I have company.
Formal affair, I see.
Well, it's neither yet, but I'm working on it, I assure you.
Yeah, well, don't you worry about that. I'm sure Randall can fill in. This won't take very long. Randall, I want you to keep the company. You just continue doing whatever Miss Tiffany Hill was doing out there in the terrace.
I'll do my best, sir.
Somehow I don't think that's going to be good enough, Randall.
Tiffany, I merely wanted to congratulate you.
For what?
Well, everybody in town is talking about Luke Spencer's oil strike. Now, since he's your partner, I assume that you stand to come in for a great deal of money.
Well, if I am, I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, you are in business with him, aren't you?
Actually, Luke and I are partners at the Star, but, you know, we have such diversified interests.
But you are aware of his oil find.
Actually, I have been so preoccupied lately.
Yes, I can imagine.
I haven't seen Luke, just in passing.
Well, if you do, any information that you could get from me about the oil strike would be greatly appreciated.
I'm sure it would.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go check on Tiffany.
Well, if you say so, sir.
I do. I do.
I tell you, Edward, I don't know anything about any oil fields, but I promise you, I'll come straight to you if I hear anything.
Yes, well, I knew I could count on you.
Oh, yes, darling, you can. So nice of you to drop by and see you again.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you. Goodbye.
I want to rub oil on my back.
Oh, no, you're kidding. Oh.
Have a little more adventure in paradise.
Oh, I'd love to, but I can't. We've got to get dressed, and I've got to go tell Luke that Edward knows all about the oil.
Oh, no, the only oil I'm interested in is the oil they've been rubbing on my back.
You don't understand, though. This is real oil. Now, come on, we've got to hurry. I'll explain it all the way to the Star. You've got to get dressed.
I've already started the legal details on setting up the oil field. I talked to Shot Valley from the bank, and I think our next step's going to be to start a corporation.
Kelly, hold it.
Whoa. I mean, aren't we jumping the gun a little bit? Shouldn't we find out if there's oil there for real before we start incorporating?
If we do, we may not be moving fast enough, believe me.
Things happen fast in this business, don't they?
Well, they sure do, I'm telling you. We got to set up the details now. If we find out there's oil in there, then we're not going to be able to move fast enough.
All right, great. What's the plan?
I think the first thing we have to do is set up an escrow account while we're raising the money to develop the field. Then when the drilling and the yield are established, we can transfer the money from the escrow into the corporate account. That way we're going to be covered all along.
Well, that sounds simple enough. Let's get to it.
All right. There's a couple things I want to check out first. Dan Rooney had some dealings with oil companies while he was working with Lamont Corbin.
Great. Well, let's talk to him.
I'm gonna go meet him at the hospital, and then I'll meet you back at the Star. I'll be there.
I've got some calls to make. I'll be upstairs.
What are you doing here? I thought...
I know. But we haven't really had the chance to sit and talk, and I've missed you so much.
Well, I've missed you too, darling.
I've been feeling a bit lonely since I've been here.
And just a touch scared?
A touch.
That's perfectly normal. You're new at this, remember?
How could I forget? This is the first time I've been so heavily involved in the early stages.
Well, you are our front man, or front woman. The whole thing rides with you for now.
No, I hope I don't disappoint you.
Not a chance.
Oh, I wish I was so confident.
Darling, is Luke a problem at all?
Why do you ask?
Oh, I just wondered if he were giving you any trouble.
Oh, quite to the contrary. He seems quite taken with me.
Well, that's the way it seemed. I think you did very well. That's exactly what we wanted.
I suppose it is.
Do I detect a note of regret? Maybe he's not the only one who's been smitten.
You're imagining things.
Do I imagine that you're avoiding my eyes?
Of course not.
Holly, if at any time you ever feel like you're getting in over your head, I want you to just shout and I'll come running. I won't let anyone hurt you.
I thought I heard voices. I'm relieved to find that you haven't taken to talking to yourself, Charles, but I'm surprised to see Holly here. Throwing caution to the winds, have we?
Not at all. Luke went to see a lawyer. I'll be back at the Star before he returns.
Well, I hope so, for all our sakes.
I came to ask, did the meeting with Edward Quartermaine go as planned?
Like a charm. He's convinced that there's a fortune to be made in oil here. Now, if my guess is right, the word is already spreading through Port Charles. And that little soft shoe routine that Basil and I staged for Mr. Spencer's benefit seemed to interest him a lot.
You were very convinced.
So were you. Your performance was excellent. You showed just the right amount of enthusiasm at our offer to make it seem legitimate. And the pair of you look so touching over in the corner when he made his pathetic attempt to try and talk you out of our deal.
I'm so glad you were amused.
I was. You have the makings of a wonderful con artist. I don't know whether I'll ever believe another word that you say. But yes, thanks to you, I expect a real boom in investments.
How fortunate for you.
Yes, and for you.
Now, if all goes well with the lawyer, which it should, Luke is going to come back here and ask you to take out an escrow account. You and he will be designated as co-signers. At the time and on the day when the escrow money moves into the corporate account, you'll be there to write a check to us for the entire amount.
It's so simple, Father. Doesn't it make you wonder why we need anyone else? It certainly shows that we can manage perfectly well without the supervision of other branches of the family.
I never doubted that for a minute. I merely wanted to see that all the twigs on the family tree were attached to the same trunk.
I'd better get back to the Star before I take root.
Yes, do that, and quickly.
Darling, I wouldn't push Basil too far. What he lacks in charm, he makes up for by having no sense of humor.
Yeah, so I noticed. I won't pretend to like the man, but I will work with him if you say so.
Well, for now, at least, we have no choice.
Well, Basil doesn't scare me.
Well, then I'm all the more worried. He terrifies me.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
Hi, Jess. I telephoned Dan, and he's supposed to be expecting me.
Oh, yeah, he went to the cafeteria, but he asked me to watch out for you.
Oh.
Oh, hello, Joe.
Hi.
I brought us some coffee.
Thanks.
Should we sit in the lounge?
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, what's on your mind?
Dan, I gotta pick your brain.
Well, what's left of it is yours.
I need your advice on setting up an oil development corporation.
Maybe I can give you some advice. I did some of that at Corbin Limited. What in particular do you have in mind?
I guess more than anything, I just sort of need to know what to expect.
Well, first thing I'd suggest is to watch your neighbors very carefully.
Why?
Well, there's an old trick. It happens to newcomers in the business very often. Roughneck wildcatters on adjacent properties will suck your well dry before you even know what hit you.
Oh, where have you been, Luke? We rushed right over here as soon as we could.
Back from Riviera.
Yeah, we've been here for ages.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went to talk to Joe Kelly, and then I had a beer with Rose. Why? What's happening?
Edward Quartermaine is what's happening.
What's that old con man want?
He knows about the oil.
What?
Yes, he came over to the apartment. He knows everything about it. He came over and he said it's all over town, and he wanted me to find out what I could and get back to him.
What did you tell him?
I told him nothing, of course, but he's got his scent out, believe me.
Well, he's not the only one.
What do you mean?
A couple of smooth talkers came in here earlier. The Corso family, something like that. They offered to buy Holly out.
Oh, terrific. What now, then?
Well, I don't know, but whatever it is, we better move fast. I certainly wouldn't trust Edward Quartermaine with counterfeit money. And these other people, the Corsos, whatever they are, they're offering her some heavy coin for her land.
Then there must be a lot of oil on it.
That's what I figured. So we got to move fast. I mean, we're in the big leagues now, sports fans.
Do you have any idea what's involved in something like this?
Well, I don't really have the slightest idea, Noah.
The startup costs can be pretty incredible. They might be prohibitive. I understand Holly doesn't have that much money.
Oh, she can barely afford to feed herself. But you see, we've got that covered because my partners and I are going to mortgage the boat and give her the costs for the first drilling.
No loan.
Well, darling, I don't think anybody's going to go for an outright gift.
Well, anyone who puts up money for this crazy scheme gets a share in it. It's only fair.
Relax, darling. That's not what we're talking about. Nobody here would put up a dime if we didn't think we're all going to get rich quick. Oh, excuse me.
Don't anybody count your money yet?
Yeah. There's the man with the plan. Here's the
Here it is. We got to move fast. Valley came through with the thing on the Star, the loan.
Okay, well, when do we start drilling?
Just as soon as you get yourself a crew together. But I got a word of caution. I talked to Dan Rooney. He was in the oil business for a while before. It seems that wildcatters can set up on the land adjacent to yours, tap into your well, and steal all your oil.
Yeah, but who would do something?
Your old friend.
Edward Quartermaine, of
I
course.
wouldn't put it past him for a second.
Oh, Well, what are we going to do to stop him?
Well, it's very obvious. We're going to have to buy all the neighboring land. Unfortunately, we don't have the money when we mortgage the boat.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead. We're fresh out.
I've heard of the Corsos. They're heavyweight people. If they're interested in this must be some kind of real deal. I'd like to front the money for it.
You would?
Yeah.
A decent education comes through again. Thank you, Dr. Drake. If he does that, do we have enough money?
Yeah, with this kind of money, we're going to have to incorporate quick. Now, you owning the land are going to have to be the major stockholder. You're going to have to be the president and the the treasurer of the corporation, at least.
Oh, I really do.
She graciously accepts.
Well done. Now, I'm trying to find the best way for the investors to participate. Yeah, I haven't, but we're going to need one more officer. Somebody's got to act as vice president and secretary.
Well, that should be Luke. He's the one who got me started on all
Oh,
this.
wait a minute. I don't want
He graciously accepts.
I saw myself in a more executive position. I'm sorry you didn't.
If you're an executive, darling, I'm Princess Di.
Now that we know who we all are, I think the next step is going to be to open up a corporate checking account. That way, both you and Holly can write checks either together or separately.
Wait a minute. Does that mean one of us could skip town with the money?
I got news for you. Until escrow closes, there isn't going to be any money, not until it's transferred. And on the escrow account, you're going to require both of your signatures on any checks written.
Ooh, this is so exciting. I mean, a real bank account makes it so final, doesn't it?
Forget it. You're not going to charge anything on it.
No, you're certainly not. But I would love to stay here and celebrate, but I gotta get back to the hospital.
Well, I'll go with you. We have some business to take care of.
Well, I want to thank you all because you're the ones that are going to make it happen.
I'm very grateful.
Oh, well, I'll be very grateful to you very soon.
Yeah, Joe, did you meet Holly?
Grandma shovel and quit. Get rich quick.
Not bad for day one in Port Charles.
Yes, I have to admit your scheme is unraveling exactly as we planned. And Holly's turning out to be even better than I anticipated.
Well, you never give her much credit, Basil.
Perhaps. I've always sensed a certain quality in her.
She's very special. Everyone feels that, even strangers. As long as she doesn't lose her head, Holly will do fine.
Is there any reason to suppose that she might lose it?
None whatsoever.
You better do that. Noah, thank you again, man. I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
See you later. Have a good time on the Riviera. They're good people.
I just hope it works out for all of them.
Well, if it does, you'll be responsible.
Oh, I have a surprise.
A toast?
What's this?
What's this? How soon they forget. This is Uncle Clem's homemade cognac.
From the mountain.
Absolutely. The best aphrodisiac this side of Spain. What better way to toast a pending drilling? Okay. Here is to luck, friends, and love. Not necessarily in that order.
I've been meaning to tell you how grateful I am for your generosity. And for the others, too. I can't believe how quickly they all rallied around to help.
They smell big bucks.
No, it's not that, and you know it.
Well, friends are there when you need them. That's what makes them friends.
I suppose. I've almost forgotten how to respond to kindness.
It's very simple.
You know, I'm not in this for nothing. You're gonna give me what I want, you know? You're gonna make me a big business executive. Any day now. I'm gonna be an oil tycoon.
Yes.
Holly. What is it that you want?
I don't know, Luke.
Oh, baby. I sure hope I can help you find out.
Let me put my